Good morning, Malacanang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Good morning, sir.
Good Tuesday morning to Pilipinas and good Tuesday morning to the ladies and gentlemen of the Malacanang Press Corps, those who are in the palace at least, and hello to the members of the Malacanang Press Corps who are already in the Philippine Rise. Naiinitan po kayo ngayon dyan. Bago po ang lahat, binabati ng palasyo ang lahat ng mga nanalong kandidatong pagkabarangay at SK sa buong Pilipinas. The palace wishes to congratulate all the duly elected barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan officials. This is the first democratic electoral exercise under the Duterte administration, and we thank everyone for the full support and cooperation in ensuring that the 2018 barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections had been relatively peaceful and orderly in all regions of the country. According to the National Election Monitoring Action Center in Camp Crame, there were 47 cases of violence since the election period began on April 14. Of these 47 cases, 7 were validated to be election-related. There were no serious threat monitored by the Armed Forces of the Philippines in regard to the conduct of elections. Nonetheless, contingency measures were laid out, including the deployment of sufficient number of specially trained and equipped AFP personnel in COMELEC-identified red areas. Teachers have received cash cards for serving as election officers, including teachers in Bukidnon who will get their cash cards today. There were isolated incidents of threats to our teachers, such as in Region 9 in Barangay Busay, Zamboanga City, where teachers refused to serve due to security threat and other issues. Police were thus put in their place. In ARM, Barangay Mai, Datu Saudi, Ampatuan, Maguindanao, there were incidents of ballot boxes grabbing between teachers and candidates' supporters where teachers were replaced by police. A total of 91 temporary operators permits and ordinance violation receipts were issued to various public and private vehicles by the Department of Transportation and the Interagency Council on Traffic. Jeepneys bearing the signage of COMELEC, which were not authorized by the Commission, were flagged down and meted with appropriate charges. The DOTR previously warned operators not to allow candidates to use their public utility vehicles to perform acts that are inimical to the conduct of an honest, orderly, peaceful elections. Mabuhay po ang lahat po ng nanalo at ang sambayanang Pilipino. The 3-day official visit of Prime Minister O'Neill of Papua New Guinea will be from May 15 to 17. This is an important opportunity to reaffirm and further strengthen the friendly and cooperative ties with Papua New Guinea. With other similar histories and shared aspirations for greater peace, progress, and prosperity for our peoples and region, the Philippines stand ready to work with Papua New Guinea for the mutual benefit and sustainable and inclusive growth of our nations. The President has advised 2 Assistant Secretaries to tender their resignations or face termination for corruption. One is Assistant Secretary Mosleman T. Makarambon Sr. of the Department of Justice. Investigation conducted by the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission revealed that ASEC Makarambon has regularly been intervening on behalf of suspected smugglers of gold and other precious jewelry at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Likewise, Assistant Secretary Tingangun A. Umpa of the Department of Public Works and Highways has been advised to tender his resignation. Investigation conducted by the DPWH indicates that ASEC Umpa committed grave abuse of power and may have committed also acts of corruption. Among others, DPWH has sworn statements where ASEC Umpa allegedly asked from contractors in the ARM area for certain percentages from projects awarded to these contractors. Questions?
MPC Deo de Guzman.
Sir, ito pong sina Assistant Secretary Mosliman tsaka yung Assistant Secretary Umpa. Sino po ang appointing power sa kanila?
Presidential po yan. Assistant Secretaries po kasi.
So, si Presidente po mismo
Opo.
ang nag-appoint sa kanila.
Apo.
Alam na po ba nila na pinag-resign sila? O ngayon lang?
I hope by now they know.
Now they know. Thank you, sir.
Follow up, Maricela Lili.
Sir, etong dalawang ASEC na to, kasama ba sila doon sa sinasabi ni Presidente doon sa previous speech niya na mga susunod na government officials na sisibakin?
I
Sila
believe
doon?
sila po yung tinutukoy ni Presidente kahapon dun sa lamay ni Senator Angara na 2 ASECs na sisibakin niya.
Mhm. And ano po yung plano natin after sibakin? Ipupush pa rin ba yung cases against these 2 ASECs?
Gaya ng aking sinasabi po, ang mga kaso po ay katungkulan na yan ng Ombudsman. Bagamat, meron pong investigasyon na ginawa ang Department of Justice at saka ang Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission na po pwede pong gamitin ng Ombudsman sa kanilang mga investigasyon.
Follow up, Alvin Baltasar.
ASEC, pwede pong magbigay ng konting background doon sa 2 ASEC.
Yun lang po ang alam ko.
Other
That
than
they have been advised and I was given a copy of the investigation report involving both of them.
Follow up or other issue? Other issue? Leo o follow up?
So sir, ibig sabihin ang Presidential yung PACC,
Presidential
Corruption Commission. Tama.
Oo.
So sila po ang magre-recommend kay Presidente lagi sa mga sisibakin.
Mukhang ganun po ang kanilang mandato, no? Sila po ay may recommendatory powers at sinusumiti po nila ang kanilang recommendation sa Office of the President. Meron pong Deputy Executive Secretary for Legal Affairs at dati-rati po lahat ng reklamo sa DESLA fina-file, pero ngayon po maraming kaso rin ang nanggaling sa DESLA na ibinigay nila for investigation sa Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission.
So ASEC pa lang ito, may susunod pa pong mas mataas pa sa kanila.
Well, I was told that the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission inherited about 400 complaints from the DESLA, no? So marami pong complaints ang iniimbestiga ngayon ng PACC.
Thank you, sir.
Dexter Ganibe.
Sir, tama po nilift na yung ban sa skilled workers.
By now po, it should have been lifted already, no? Kasi ngayon ang plano ni Secretary Bello. So there are 20,000 expected po, no, na madideploy ngayon sa Kuwait na skilled and semi-skilled workers. Ang ban po on domestic helpers eventually will be lifted. Hindi ko lang po alam kung kailan at kung ano pa yung mga reformang gagawin ng DOLE. But from the trip, we were accompanied in the trip also by former Secretary Marianito Roque. And it was former Secretary Roque who had recommendations for Secretary Bello. I do not know if Secretary Bello will adopt them, but he is a recognized consultant of Secretary Bello.
Semi and skilled, tama.
Apa.
Semi and skilled.
Questions? Other issue?
Other issue, sir.
Vic Samintak.
Sir, good afternoon. Good morning. Sir, doon sa naging desisyon ng Supreme Court sa co-warranto case ni Chief Justice Sereno, mayroon na po bang napipisil si Pangulong Duterte na itatalagang bagong Chief Justice?
Wala pa po kasi magkakaroon pa po ng proseso ang JBC. The JBC will have to submit a short list for the candidates of Chief Justice as well as another seat for the Supreme Court, no? Bukod pa po dun sa seat na i-vacate po ni Justice Velasco who will be retiring.
Sir, dito sa plano ng kampo ni Chief Justice Sereno na magpapile ng motion for reconsideration, in your experience as a seasoned lawyer, yung butuhang 8-6 may pag-asa bang mabaliktad yun?
I will not speculate po, no? Hindi po dapat mag-speculate dahil yan po ay tanging hukuman lang po makakasagot. I wish her the best, pero with the decision which is more than 150 pages, parang mahirap po ata yun. Dahil mukhang pinag-isipan talaga ng mga mahistrado yung kanilang desisyon.
Sir, anong take ng palas doon sa sinasabi nilang dito sa naging desisyon ng Supreme Court, pati yung posisyon ng Presidente and Vice President, pwedeng isubject sa co-warranto?
Hindi po kami naniniwala dyan dahil tanging si Chief Justice Sereno lang naman po ang hindi talaga sumunod dun sa requirement ng saligang batas na kinakailangan mag-submit ng SALN ang mga nominado para po sa kataas-taasang hukuman.
Pwede bang isang-isa pa na other
Sige.
issue? Sir, ngayong araw na ito, pasisimula ng Department of Justice yung kanilang preliminary investigation on Dingvaxia issue. Sir, ano nang nangyari doon sa yung order ni Presidente sa Department of Health na kumuha ng 3-man independent panel of foreign expert?
Well, that's a standing order po, no? At saka it is the President that will appoint the 3-man panel. So, tuloy lang po yung preliminary investigation ng DOJ. Bagamat ang Public Attorney's Office po ay for budget purposes, kasama ng DOJ na humaharap ng Kongreso, meron pong autonomy ang PAO from the Department of Justice. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, wala pong ibig sabihin ng palibasa pawang nag-file ng kaso, there's anything binding on the DOJ. Hindi po. Magkukonduct ng sariling preliminary investigation ng DOJ, maghahanap ng probable cause. Kung may probable cause, magkakaroon po yan ng pagsampa ng kaso. Kung wala naman po, ibabasura yan ng Department of Justice.
Okay. Joseph Morong?
Follow-up on Chief Justice Sereno. In terms of the consequence of this decision on the co-warranto, at least the dissents are saying that the SOLJA now is all too powerful in the sense that it can question via a co-warranto petition, as pointed out kanina, all appointed officials na mga dapat sana ay dinadaan sa impeachment. Do you agree with that kind of consequences that's going to happen after this?
I think that's purely speculative because what is clear is that the co-warranto was filed against a specific government official who was required to file her SAL-ens by virtue of the Constitution and the law. So kung wala naman pong paglabag ng probisyon ng saligang batas na yan, hindi naman po magkakaroon ng ganyang kapangyarihan ng Solicitor General. Ibig sabihin, wala pong panibagong kapangyarihan na ibinigay sa SOLJE nitong desisyon nito. Ang saligang batas po nagre-require ng filing ng SAL-en at ito lang naman po ang naging basehan ng Solicitor General.
No, but I think the root is yung qualification can be questioned. Not just filing of the SAL-en, but qualification, eligibility to the position.
No, I don't think so. That's ang sinasabi ko nga po is the provision requiring the filing of the SAL-en is the Constitution, is a constitutional provision restated in a law. Now, of course, anyone who violates the constitutional provision stands the risk of being questioned by reason of co-warranto. Pero kung ikaw naman ay hindi lumabag sa saligang batas, di walang kapangyarihan ng OSG na questioning ka by virtue of a co-warranto. So in the end, it is really the Supreme Court asserting the supremacy of the Constitution.
I'll rephrase. Outside of the SAL-en, can the Solicitor General, using a co-warranto, question the eligibility on whatever ground except SAL-en, impeachable officers, like maybe the Ombudsman or other Supreme Court justices?
Well, there are other grounds for co-warranto, citizenship, for instance. No, if there is a requirement that one should be a natural-born citizen, and that is a requirement also for the Supreme Court, then if there are issues involving citizenship of a Supreme Court justice, then it could be filed and questioned through a petition for co-warranto.
So therefore, the answer is yes.
No.
Why?
The answer is it vests no new powers because it's already there in the Constitution.
The co-warranto, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sir, can I move on to another one?
Yes, please.
China.
Yes.
When are we going to put down our foot? When are we going to put our foot down on China? Because there have been reports of visits of warships in our areas that we claim.
We have always been putting down our feet. We have not surrendered our title. We have not relinquished our title. We maintain we have title. While we may not be able to do anything as far as their military maneuvers are concerned, we continue to resort to diplomatic initiatives. And I assure you that while we are not noisy at it, any development that happens is also accompanied by diplomatic steps by the Department of Foreign Affairs.
What do we think of these actions of China that they've been very active in those areas?
I think it's the same question that you have been asking me,
Because
and I
it's
give
the
you
same
the
thing
same
that's happening.
answer.
We're
Yes,
not doing anything.
no, we're not doing anything. I dispute that.
Okay.
We are resorting to diplomatic initiatives, but this is a traditional exception to freedom of information. Let's leave it to the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, questions, MPC? No more? Pahabol. Christine, walang question? Alvin Baltasar.
Secretary, sir, totoo ba na yung OPEC ready to finance yung infra projects ng Duterte administration?
Hindi pa po ako sigurado dyan dahil first time kong narinig yan. But OPEC itself, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries,
May lumabas na
ang alam ko lang po kasi pagkagaling ng Kuwait, nagpunta ng Bahrain at nagpunta ng Saudi ata si si Secretary Alan Cayetano, no? So hindi ko pa po alam na merong ganyang deklarasyon ng OPEC, but I will clarify.
O sige, Joseph Morong.
Pang safety soundbite lang just in case hindi maka-ambush kay Presidente later. Some are saying na parang it's the wrong venue that he's just going to. It shouldn't be the Benham, but maybe the WPS.
Well, ang sa akin lang po, talagang meron po tayong karapatan dyan sa Philippine Rice. Ang Presidente Duterte naman po talaga ang nagbago ng pangalan niyan. Tinapon po niya yung pangalan ng Amerikano at ginamit na ngayon ang pangalan ng Philippine Rice. So yan po ang ating binabalik tanawan at nagbabalik tanaw din po tayo dun sa pag-award sa atin ng UN Commission on the Extended Continental Shelf ng ganitong karapatan sa Philippine Rice. So wala pong masama na balik tanawin yung mga pangyayari kung saan tayo po ay nabigyan ng karapatan dito sa Philippine Rice.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no more? Okay. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque.
Thank you and see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, MPC Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.